Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Phi Theta Kappa regional meeting, where we're going to be talking about the Jack and Cook Foundation Graduate Transfer Scholarship. We're going to be talking about an overview um, of the scholarship. We hope that you all are doing well and healthy in your respective homes, and we are really excited to be involved in this convention today. Like I mentioned, we'll be talking about the Jack and Cook Foundation and the Graduate Transfer Scholarship, some of the requirements for you to apply, how to apply, some tips. Um, but at this moment, we're only going to be doing the presentation. We'll be taking questions later at the panel, where we're going to have about 10 transfer scholars from previous years. Um, that they're going to talk about their experience, whether during the application process or whether during their transfer process. It's going to be very interesting. So I suggest you to send your questions if you haven't done that. So at through Twitter at Jean with the hashtag JKCF question. Again, that's through Twitter at Jean hashtag JKCF question. So let us introduce ourselves.
Hi, everyone. My name is Homero Sosa Mendoza. I am a Jack and Cook undergraduate transfer scholar as of 2015. I graduated from Phoenix College again in 2015, and I used to be a PTK member with the ROPI chapter. I went on to study at Arizona State University, and I completed a dual degree in 2017 in supply chain and business management. And I'm currently working for people operations at Google. Super thrilled to be here.
And I am Alessandro Bailetti. I got the graduate transfer scholarship in 2009 when I graduated from Pensacola State College, where I was also member of Phi Theta Kappa with the Theta Chi chapter. Um, and then I transferred to Cornell University to do a bachelor's degree in biological sciences. And I graduated there in 2012, where I got the Jack and Cook Foundation graduate scholarship. And I moved to NYU to do my PhD in genetics and development. And I finished that last year in 2019. And I am currently a postdoc at Stanford University working in genomics. So let us talk to you about some of the stats of the current Cook scholars. 69% of them go to a highly competitive college and university. The foundation thrives to send its scholars to the best colleges for their universities, for their goals. Um, the average GPA of current scholars is about a 3.84, and the foundation wants to accept highly achieving students. But this is not a cutoff GPA. Remember that averages are means that which means that some of the GPAs are higher and some of the GPAs are lower. Most impressive, to my opinion, is that 93% of the scholars give up somehow to their communities. And this is why most of the Jack and Cook transfer scholars come from PTK, since community service is well woven into our own programming. So let's talk about the program experience. The most significant experience is, of course, the amount of the scholarship, since it will give you the financial freedom to focus and thrive in your studies. However, the foundation is proud of all the programs it puts together for current scholars and alumni. You will be able to talk to college advisors to help you along the way, whether it's in your local universities or to plan ahead for graduate school. Another great opportunity that you will receive being member of the Jack and Co Foundation is being part of a highly motivated, like-minded, and really, really smart people, both as a current scholars and as alumni. And I personally can tell you that I have met most of the most impressive people in my time as a Jack and Cook scholar. I have met people not just in my field of studies of biology and sciences, but I have also met people in mathematics, in business, in law, in writing. Um, I am able to talk to them with no problem whatsoever, regardless of our background. And that is one of the things that I cherish the most about the foundation. So let's talk about some of our program goals. As you have as you have seen before, our motto says, "Think big." We want you to attend the best schools possible for your degree. The sky's the limit. Whether this school is down the road or across the country, the foundation wants you to take advantage of this opportunity because of the foundation's deadlines and the school's deadlines. You need to plan ahead and shoot for the stars from the get go. There are opportunities within the foundation where you can meet fellow scholars like you pursuing a similar degree or possible mentors who were in your shoes not so long ago. You will have the opportunity to increase the general skills that you already have in PTK. These skills will help you during your college and future careers. As you know, many jobs need graduate education. The foundation wants you to follow your dreams. And if those dreams involve graduate school, the foundation is there for you. Through career development opportunities and the graduate scholarship, the foundation will help you get to graduate school. So let's talk about eligibility. Of course, some of these days are a little bit off since it's from last year, and this year's days haven't been released yet. But you can extrapolate a little bit from last year. You must be a current sophomore in a community college, which means a second year, or a recent community college graduate. And that means that you have to have graduated within 5 years and not have enrolled in a 4 year college. Enrolling in a 4 year college in 2021 will be the next requirement. You need to have a cumulative GPA of 3.5. Now, some of you may have questions about borderline GPAs, such as a 3.48, 49, or a 3.40. You can ask, at this moment, we cannot answer those questions except to try and see. 100% of the applications you do not send, you do not get. So at this moment, that's the only thing we can say. You need to demonstrate a financial need. This is an important point since the foundation wants to help those students who need it. During the application process, there will be moments that you can mention this and you may need to show some documents to prove it. We mentioned this before, but you need to make sure that you have not attended a 4 year college. Now, if you have any questions about these bullet points, you are more than welcome to email or contact the foundation since they know the most updated information about these eligibility points. So the application requirements, and this is a list of requirements that you need for applying for the foundation scholarship. Besides meeting the eligibility requirements, you need to show financial need, you need to submit recommendation letters, and I suggest that you contact recommendation letter writers ahead of time to ask if they can write a good recommendation letter for you. You need to fill contact information for you and your family. You need to fill activities and honors and your college plans. And of course, more important, you have to submit a few essays. And of course, at the end, you're going to have to submit some waivers and conditions.
Yeah, so I guess I'll take it from here. So let's talk about the selection criteria. We obviously know that as a Phi Theta Kappan, you are academically inclined and that you focus and care about your grades. But we want to see and we want to know what you're doing, the adversities that you are facing, and that's also part, it ties in with the persistence piece. We want to know the adversity that you have faced, the challenges that you have faced, because that is what gives us a better perspective of who you are as a candidate, as a person, as a potential Cook scholar. We want to know that you are academically inclined, that you are resilient, that you are inclined to continue going regardless of the adversities. And again, as Phi Theta Kappans, we see you having those leadership and service to others. They are pillars to Phi Theta Kappa. And when I talk about leadership, I do want to be very specific, mostly for students who are like freshmen or about to turn sophomores, because there is a big difference. There's a big difference in between a person who attends meetings and or attends events, volunteers, and someone that organizes events and volunteers. I would 100% ask you to like please try to be that person that's driving endeavors, that person that's creating volunteer opportunities for others. That is one of the best tips that I can give you, not only for this application, but it's a great thing to do as a human being. Being a participant is fun, but being a leader is even more exhilarating. And then service to others, everything that we do. And I think one of the stats was 93% of us are community inclined, and we're constantly doing something to help our communities, our cities, and the world through our impact. We do want to see the way that you're helping out, and maybe service to others might just be of caring of a family member who became ill, or creating a March of Dimes fundraiser. All of those things matter, and all of those things are important. And we do want you to let us know what you're doing, what the ways that you want to give to the world. That is important to being a Cook Scholar, and I'm sure all of you are already doing a lot of those things. Next slide, please. Awesome. So how to apply? The Jack and Cook scholarships, all of them, are only and exclusively through the Common App portal. So please do make sure to create an account if you don't have one. If you have one, continue using the same one that you've been using. And do look for you have to go add program and then Jack and Cook Foundation. Right now, it's not available. I checked a few minutes ago before this meeting. But since none of the scholarships are being offered right now, they would not come up. But when the window opens and when the Jack and Cook Foundation makes it official, they will apply. They will appear on the portal, and that's the way that you will add it and apply to it. Again, we also care about the supplemental information that you will submit through the common application or the common app, and then the colleges that you are interested on, and as well as the writing portions. That's all that there is. One app, one place, one opportunity, and we hope that you do your best to get it. Next slide, please. So the writing requirements, again, be mindful of the character count. I know that I wasn't, and I found myself deleting a bunch of the things that I had written like 30 minutes before the application was due. Do not recommend it. Please do not do that. Do not procrastinate. We want you to write a narrative, an autobiography, and please, please, please do not shy away from shouting about the things that you are doing, from in a very humble way, kind of bragging a little bit of the things that you've done and accomplished. That is one of the few ways that we will actually get to know who you are, where your mind is. That is super, super important to us. Again, talk to us about leadership roles, family, educational dreams, philosophical things that might have inspired you to pursue certain goals. Anything that you would say makes you who you are at your core, and maybe something that's not really reflected through your resume. Those are the things that we really, really want to see highlighted throughout your autobiography for the long essay. We do have short essays. They do change every single year from what I've seen. But we do have these three that are great examples of the things that we might be asking for. And I want to maybe pay a little bit more emphasis to the second one, because this should be highlighted all throughout your application. Again, the motto of the Jack and Cook Foundation is to think big, work hard, and achieve. And we want to know the way that you've done it. And please do exemplify that through your autobiography, your resume, references. Those are really great places to do it. But again, here is just like 600 characters dedicated to just answering those prompts. That's what we try to look for. We also look for how would you embed yourself with the current Cook community. And we do have a quick video for you to watch, which Alessandro will put for you right now. And I hope you enjoy it.
I believe that the Cook Scholar community is this group of extremely bright, talented, outstanding scholars in terms of academics, but it doesn't stop there.
Being part of the cookie community is so awesome.
The people I met were electrifying.
I've made so many friendships. I definitely think my friends from Jack and Cook are some of my best friends of all time.
Scholar community is everything.
It's just that moment when you feel your chest high in your pride and it's like, I belong, I'm one of them, you know.
We are so close, it's ridiculous.
If I meet a scholar, like, you're automatically family.
And when one of us has a problem, we all rally together.
It doesn't matter if you talk to them once or 500 times.
We share these ideas together.
They're there for you if you ever need anything at all.
And every time I meet a Cook Scholar, I just see an image of myself in them.
And for me, that's really a connection and a bond that I haven't really experienced anywhere else.
It really helps you to kind of like see that inspiration, see like the big like leaps and bounds they've taken.
The resilience that's around all of us is what makes us such a strong community.
You know, there are these people that like really believe in me and really want me to do well, you know.
There are so many people from so many places with so many aspirations, and every single person you meet inspires you in a different way.
Last Scholars Weekend, there were presentations given by people who started their own NGOs. Seeing those graduate scholars who did that made me realize that I can do that too.
I know that many of them will be my colleagues tomorrow in medicine, in science, and we're talking about this possibility 15 years down the line when we need each other.
It's been, in a big way, my rock. Whenever I face any adversities and I have issues or just have a question, I know that I have a community that I can really go to and ask them for help.
To have a community of people who celebrate you in every single way, who love you, who are invested in you, and who are just so cool, it's like the best thing in the world.
I don't think anyone here really wants to move forward by themselves. It's as important to me that one of my Cook Scholars succeeds as it is important that I succeed.
I know that I'm extremely grateful for being part of this community and this foundation, but also it's a constant motivation. I have to keep doing it because there's 2,000 other scholars that are doing it. What they did for me, I have to do it for others.
I try to help out as many people as I can through that way because I just want to pay it forward. The Jack and Cook Foundation has given me so much love that I just want to spread it with the world.
We come from similar backgrounds, the humble backgrounds, but despite the obstacles in our life, we have taken those obstacles as an opportunity, supported by the foundation, to make a greater impact in the community we live, in the country we live, and hopefully in the world we live in today.
The reality is, like, Jack and Cook Scholars are here, and we're not leaving. We're literally taking over. So I'm down for that.
I still get a little bit emotional just by watching them, and it's always so true because I absolutely know just about every single person in that videos, and we're like friends, and I know they got my back. It's such a great experience.
I know him, I know her. I used to go out dancing with them, and it's always great. And then you know exactly where they are right now. You know, like, oh, he's working here, she's working there, she did this, and it's such a tight community. Sometimes it's amazing. It's
But 100%. Again, they are my rock. They are my family. So proud of them, and that's why we want you to come and join us. Let's move on to the next slide, please. All right, so additional writing requirements. We told you there's a long autobiography portion. We told you that there's a smaller portion, but we also have dedicated places for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, and that is resume circumstances. We know that everybody sometimes has a rough, and we want to know that we want to know the way that you acted. If you want to explain why there are any gaps on your resume, maybe you were working, maybe you weren't working, you were taking care of someone. We want to know any gaps in school. All of those things matter, and they matter a lot. So please do not shy away from sharing your story with us. That's absolutely confidential, but it's something that I would say quintessential for us to know who you are as a person. And it's a great opportunity. I personally did use that section. Again, please do write a bit about the universities that you want to attend. We want to know why you're going there, why that school, why that major. All of those things matter to us. And again, you might say, I'm not sure about this school, but it's not a top tier school, but I am so interested on their program because it's one of the top in the nation, or they have a really great professor that's really inspiring to me, and that's why I want to go there. And that was like my case as well. So do let us know. Do absolutely tell us why you want to go to certain schools. I did. I wrote them all down. I told them why I wanted to go to ASU. It was local. My family was here. All of those circumstances really do matter. So that's important. And then tell us about your future career plans. I like to think that all Cook scholars, we keep our feet on the ground, but our minds up in the skies, just thinking and wondering what we can do and accomplish as a individual, people, and society. So please do tell us what your career ambitions, dreams are. We want to support you. We want to understand them. There's not one career that I've ever heard of that is like weird enough. If you are into absolutely anything, just tell us why you're pursuing it. I promise you that we will consider you in all seriousness, and we want you to follow your dreams and hopefully do something great. Absolutely, I think personally a lot of the opportunity lies in the periphery of those like very interesting majors. So please do not shy away from telling us what you want to become, what you want to study, which schools you want to study, and then tell us about any gaps in your resume or school experience. Again, just to understand who you are holistically. Next slide, please.
Do you have any majors out there right now? Like, do you remember any of those majors?
Oh my God. So I would say there was someone who was like very interested on learning about, it was like a specific portion of like cell composition, and then more than I could like ever think about. It was just like super weird. They made it. They're doing like super fascinating things with that. But there's just plenty of examples that I would have never even thought about. But thanks to those people, we are like creating some really great advancements on those industries and sectors. And personally, like for me, I wanted to do biomedical engineering, so I was in an engineering pathway. And then there was, after the economy changed and things went kind of like downhill, decided to do something a little bit safer through my parents' guidance, and I did business. So I am no stranger to changing majors. I went to my 4-year institution as an undeclared major and then changed like 3 times. So yeah, absolutely. Just give us a perspective of where you want to go and what you want to accomplish. No dream is crazy enough. We want to hear it, and we want to help you get there.
I only ask because I remember meeting a couple of people whose majors is like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, for example, one person was studying classical guitar, and I thought he was like literally just learning about rock and roll, but no, he was actually like learning classic music in a guitar, like with an acoustic guitar. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I want to do that.
Well, go ahead.
Or, for example, this woman last year I met, she was studying the history of science. No science, no history, but like what was going on during history, what major scientific breakthroughs were happening. And I'm like, well, yeah, I want to learn that. Like, well, I think of that. That's awesome. And you get to meet all these people that you never really thought about meeting, and that's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think it's great to like meet them. It's great to hear their majors, and then you see the research that they've conducted. It is outstanding. It is
Yeah.
something that every single time I go to Scholars Weekend, I like open my mind and horizons to something brand new that I just didn't know existed. And I hope someone out there right now wants to like really major on something about pandemics, just so we can be better
A few
prepared.
people. A few
Please,
people.
please,
I
please.
feel like we have some in the audience right now. So tell us your story when you're applying. We love to hear them.
100%. Next. Okay, additional tips. Again, this is something that is important. We do not ask you, and we will never ask you about your documentation or legal status. And that was important as well for me. When I applied, I was undocumented. And this was one of the few scholarships that I could actually apply to. They never once asked me about my status. And yeah, that is important. We would only ask you about your unofficial transcript and resume. And that's about it. Again, we do not ask people to wire transfer us money anywhere. We do not charge for this application. Please do not send money to anyone who's asking you. And personally, I would recommend if there's a scholarship out there that's asking you for money, do not apply. That's probably the best tip that I can give you. Again, it's free, and citizenship is not required. We do have people from all over the world. And then important dates. And again, nothing has really been released yet by the foundation. They're typically really good at letting people know via their website, or if you are subscribed to their emails, which I suggest that everyone should do. Again, the application should open sometime in August. I would say please do your homework ahead of time so you can start by having a really great resume, having some potential really great letters of recommendation. Again, please be kind to your PTK advisors, your mentors, anyone that you plan on asking for references, by asking them early, asking them kindly, and then thanking them for it. And again, you have until November to submit it. Do not submit it very last minute like I did. It will cost you a lot of stress that you kind of really don't need. I would say get it done before November, and then the November deadline, and then go to sleep like a baby. That's my tip there. Again, they've implemented a semifinalist round, which was great because when I was applying, I like literally was hitting the refresh button on my browser like every minute for a couple of days, and maybe shamelessly a couple of weeks. So I would say they will let you know if you are a semifinalist sometime in January. You be on the lookout for that. They're really good at communicating those things. And then if you are a recipient, they will 100% let you know in April. And they typically do some really fun and cool stuff to let you know. So yeah, fingers crossed on that.
And remember to check on the time zone of the deadline. Since we're Pacific time, remember most of the deadlines are either Central or Eastern time. So make sure you check that.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, please tweet them to Alessandro's Twitter account, and do use the hashtag JKCF question, and we will answer it on the Q&A forum that we have later on.
Yes.
We do have some additional help and links. If you have any questions regarding the common application, please go to their website. Their response time is on average 1 to 2 days. In their busy periods, 3 days. Same thing for the foundation. We do provide you with their email address, and then the website. I would say again, and this goes back to doing your homework ahead of the game and starting to complete those applications ahead of the game. So if you do run into any questions, they will be able to get back to you sooner rather than later. You do not want to be one of those people who are like, the application is due in a specific day in November and you still have some questions that is not a cool place to be for you and for everyone. We want to help you. We want to give you the highest chance for you to achieve those academic and career goals. So please do come to us with any questions as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Follow us or follow the Jack and Cook Foundation on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook for the latest updates. And thank you, everybody, for your attention. We'll see you again in a couple of hours after lunch. All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.